What's up, everyone? I'm Vaughn Gittin Jr., and behind me is the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400. We brought it out here to SpeedWeek to put smiles on faces and show everybody how fun and exciting electrification is. This vehicle is very special to me personally, and also the team over at Ford and Ford Performance. And we want to do something unique with electrification. A lot of people build electric vehicles to break records, and we wanted to build something that we can learn from, that we can demonstrate multiple disciplines, and most importantly have fun and put smiles on people's faces, because it has 4 seats in it. 1 for the driver, 3 for the passengers. This car has literally just been built. I mean, it is a demonstrator. So we're proving out this weekend that we can come to an event, that we can road race. So we're running in the shootout with slicks. We will be doing Gymkhana competition. We'll be putting on our Nitto street tires, and then we'll be doing a bit of rear-wheel drive. So one Swiss Army knife of a Ford Mustang Mach-E, if you will, doing everything that SpeedWeek has to offer. This was a very collaborative effort, a lot of hard work between Ford Performance and our team at RTR Vehicles in Charlotte. When this car was built, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It has 3 motors in the front, 4 in the rear. It's capable of road racing with slicks, all-wheel drive drifting or Gymkhana, as well as rear-wheel drive drifting. To achieve that all-wheel drive mode, basically it stays the same, a few little tweaks for chassis balance, but for rear-wheel drive, we pull the front axles and put different lower control arms on the front, which allow us to get more steering lock. This car has about 1,400 horsepower and an incredible, crazy amount of torque, obviously depending upon which gear we put in it. It has a Winter's quick change in the front and rear. No transmission. It's basically the motor stacks directly to the differential. For me, being somebody as a petrol head and been driving professionally for the past 17 years, this has shattered everything that I thought I knew. I drive a 1,200 horsepower Ford Mustang as my normal gig in Formula Drift, and it screams. Burns race fuel. It smells. It screams, and this car, when I thought I knew the pinnacle, this has just explicitly shattered it. The controllability and the capability of the power output, the way that you can tune it and adapt it to anything that you want to do behind the wheel is just incredible. And I've been watching electrification for a while, and I realized that the technology was there to achieve something. And I had this vision in my head and went and talked with my partners and the team at Ford Performance, and the synergies were there. When I shared them my ideas, they kind of walked me into the special vault, and they're like, well, funny you should say, Vaughn. And we just really connected, and it's been a really incredible team effort to develop this out. This thing makes 2,300 pounds of downforce at 160 miles an hour. The Ford Aero team has done an incredible job, and frankly for us at RTR, it's an honor for Ford to entrust us in building such an important vehicle for them. So just a phenomenal opportunity, and it's been nothing short of impressive. The first time I drove this, the first time that we put this thing on full power, it was myself, one of our engineers, looked over, you ready? And we hit the gas, and it lit all 4 tires, skirt, and just took off. And I hit the brakes to stop because it scared me. Internal combustion engines, by default, they're so good, like if they're running lean, and then they're not. And it just felt like it was wrong, but it's just what it is. It was so right. So it's just been absolutely incredible. So yeah, let me walk you around a bit. So one cool thing is that this hood is actually made of, or what's called the frunk in a battery electric vehicle, is actually made out of flax. So it's a sustainable material that we're using and we're testing. All these things that we learn Ford Performance has vision of, learning to get into production for the vehicles that we can buy. So in here you can see heat exchangers, the differential, the batteries, obviously the suspension. So there's 2 heat exchangers, front and rear. Basically the front system is exactly the same in the rear. So basically one heat exchanger cools the inverters, which control the power from between the battery and the motors. So that's basically what's commanding the power. And then the other is for the motors. So dielectric fluid runs through the motors, and then there's a glycol base that runs through the inverters. Obviously right now we're in our what I call fun mode. We've got street tires on, doing some gymkhana and doing some sliding around and just putting on a show. You obviously can see the aero is massive. In here in the passenger seat we have an Alex. He's a Ford Performance engineer and constantly pulling data and assessing and learning and maintaining and making sure everything is, this is real live development going on here. As you see, massive wing, massive aero, all the bits. So this is a true unibody. I mean, this is a Mach-E unibody. The battery is between the axles, just where the production vehicle battery goes. It's a 57 kilowatt hour battery. And the great thing about that, this vehicle is, it's the weight, it's a big vehicle, but the battery is 3 inches from the ground. So that's where the center of gravity is. So it really feels like a race car. Like, it's incredible the way that this thing handles and brakes and accelerates. It's mind numbing. Something you don't always see in race cars is 4 seats. So we've got 4-seat FIA approved cage, all that fun stuff. That was a task in itself. And yeah, obviously the rear, you can see we mean business, right? Massive diffuser, a lot of air control. And then, moving on to the interior. So, everything is metal except for all the, all of the add-on bits is all carbon. And then obviously we have the flax that we're testing. But if you want to get a shot in the interior, you can see the inverters and the DC to DC converters. It's just things that you don't see. We want people to open this and look at this and see what it's all about. We also are demonstrating the art of the possible when it comes to sound. So this is actually a sound that I developed with the artist T-Pain. So this is kind of its static resting sound that, kind of gives a little, lets you know it's alive. And then when we get on the track, it changes pitch to another sound that is capable of about 120 decibels. So there's a massive speaker in the front and rear that will project if we turn it on or off. One of the things about electric that a lot of people are concerned about is like, oh, there's no sound, there's no heart to it. But even without the sound system, it sounds incredible. It's just different. It's a whiny, just gnarly, like a big, massive, extremely high-powered RC car, if you will, and it just screams. And it's interesting to calibrate the brain to when you're driving it, but once you do, it's just normal, like an internal combustion vehicle. So the other thing too, obviously, how could I forget to mention the handbrake? The fun stick, the magic stick, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's an incredible vehicle, and it's been pretty neat seeing everybody here. Just very surprised and excited to see it. This is Petrohead land, if anywhere is, right? From extremely old classics to modern supercars, and this is kind of in a league of its own, and something I'm very grateful to be behind the wheel of, and showing the world what it's about.